Welcome back to another quick review. Today we are talking about Royal Assassin, Book 2 in the Farseer trilogy, Book 2 in the Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. Um, and I think to start, this book is amazing, man. It's infinitely better than Assassin's Apprentice, which isn't actually is. I don't know if that's saying that much because I thought Assassin's Apprentice was really good. Actually, no, that's saying a lot because I thought Assassin's Apprentice was really good. I think Assassin's Apprentice is a solid 8 out of 10 book. This is a 10 for me. Um, One thing I heard about Royal Assassin and the Farseer trilogy as a whole is that some people have said like yeah, this is a kind of nothing happens book or nothing happens series, and while not entirely incorrect, um, it's still really freaking good. One thing I love that Robin Hobb does, and I praised her on this in the last book, and it's especially so in this one, is character work and how she writes these characters. And it feels like she writes these the events that happen in the story based off of the characters and where they're going and um, their future, you know? Writes them around the characters rather than writing the characters around the events. And I love that. Um, it feels like for every time we spend a whole bunch of time with these characters, spend a whole bunch of time obviously in the mind of Fitz or around these all other characters, so much so that when we do get to things picking up or events happening, it makes it that much more impactful. And I just love that. I think it works for me. Robin Hobb's writing just as is already is great, right? The prose and just everything that she does with it is already amazing, right? And I just think that Royal Assassin levels that up in levels up the writing of Assassin's Apprentice just tenfold. It's great. It's phenomenal. To get into plot stuff and character stuff, I'm gonna talk about Fitz first. Um, Fitz is weird. I now understand why people don't like Fitz. I still love Fitz a lot, but I do get it, right? It's how I feel about the dentist. I under I don't think it's that bad. However, I understand why people hate it. Fitz is a interesting character. I think just because I think what I love about Fitz so much is that he reflects so much of what you see in the average person, and a lot of that is mistakes. Because let's not pretend we're all stupid in some way, shape, or form. We all have blind spots. We all have things that we're not good at, and Fitz makes a ton of mistakes to the point where it's like, let's calm down. But at the same time, that's just kind of life. That is life, and for that reason, I think I love Fitz so much. I love Fitz so much because of that. He just kind of reflects what the average person does, or what the average person who makes mistakes goes through. I think it's great. And I think a lot of the other characters are built around it, are built to, reflect that, whether it be Bjork or Molly or Shrewd or Verity and Regal. Just like all these characters, while all also having depth to their own. I think I loved Verity more in this book than I did in the last book. Um, Same thing with Bjork and whatnot. Um, I think those characters improve heavily. Um, the way that Fitz impacts them as a character, Fitz as a character impacts them, I think is great, right? And that's not even mentioning some of the new characters or characters that are given a bigger role in this book, like Ketrican. I don't know how to pronounce her name at this point. I still haven't figured that out. But she is a phenomenal. She actually became one of like a top three character in the book for me. She was great. Every scene with her was great. Every line of dialogue she spoke was great. She like stole the show every time she was present in the plot. And then Night Eyes was weird at first, and Night Eyes. There's some weird stuff that happened. I wasn't entirely wrong in Assassin's Apprentice why I said, this feels like I'm about to see some weird stuff with animals, and I wasn't entirely incorrect. There was some weird stuff that goes on with animals in this book. But aside from that, Night Eyes is a character that I think I want to see more. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, but I want to see more because at the moment where we're at with him, it feels like there's a lot there, but not enough explored personally that makes me like, yeah, this is like a phenomenal character, but I could be convinced. I am intrigued to see where that goes, and I think that's a good thing to have. I mean, there's just one more book left in this trilogy. I'm not sure if Nine Eyes appears past Assassin's Quest, but um, yeah, one more book to kind of make Nine Eyes a dream character for me. And then plot wise, I think is that Royal Assassin. Like I said, it's definitely more. It's definitely less nothing happens than Assassin's Apprentice is, but I think the plot moves at a relatively good pace. Not longer than it needs to be, not short to the point where every idea feels undercooked and underbaked. It works. We spend a lot of time, dealing with the Forged Ones or the Red Ship Raiders, dealing with Regal or whatever in the world he's doing, as well as Fitz's relationship with both Night Eyes and Molly, Catrick and Verity, and them actively taking over and whatnot. Everything with Bjork, like the and then the politics as well, the political intrigue within everything. Everything moves at a nice pace. Nothing feels like it's rushed. Nothing feels like it's drawn out too long. It's like a perfect length in a way, and I love that about the book. I think the book, yeah, I think it just that the way that the plot is written is just great. I can't really say that there is much. I think you get to certain books, and there are certain ideas that you disagree with. I think back to Rhythm of War, which is I still think it's a really good book. I really love Rhythm of War. I love that book more than most people do. There were certain things in Rhythm of War I was like, well, I'm not sure about that one, but or even Project Hail Mary, which I read not long ago. Um, there are things in there I was like, I'm not sure about that, but I don't think this book has any of those issues, and it is great. It says a lot that I was able to complete this book in a shorter time than I did both Assassin's Apprentice and Project Hail Mary, which are books that are page length wise at least 200 pages shorter than Royal Assassin. I finished this in about what? I would have started Friday. It's Wednesday now. I would have started, so it would have been about 11 days I finished this book, whereas the others I finished them in 13 days, 2 weeks, something like that. I got through this book fast just because I was enjoying myself, and I would, highly recommend just reading it. Of course, I get into spoilers and whatnot, but I would just highly recommend reading Royal Assassin. It's a great book, and I can't wait to consider Assassin's Quest. Continue Assassin's Quest. However, I am taking a break, because after Red Rising and Storm, I've kind of realized that I need to take a break with more of this stuff. In between these books, so I'm gonna move on to something else. I'm currently reading The Will of the Many, and then maybe, and then after that, I'll hop back into Assassin's Quest. But yeah, that's another quick review, another book review. I promise, I swear I'm not doing these on purpose. It's just one I'm finishing quicker nowadays. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.